You're listening to Systemic Error Podcast. The failure was designed.
Ex-GOP strategist demands sit-in and fire Scott Jennings if McConnell's story unravels, based on an article by Nicole Charty-Chong. McConnell's silence, Siemens laundering. The news here is not Scott Jennings' job security. It is that a Senate power broker was apparently kept out of public view for weeks, and ambulance video surfaced only later, and the Republican media surrogate was then used to smooth over the gap with a reassuring phone call story. That is not transparency. It is information management. Who actually holds power? Mitch McConnell is not a vulnerable bystander in this story. He is a long-serving senator whose office, staff, and party never control what the public is allowed to know about his condition. That is the center of gravity. Jennings is not power. He is a credentialed amplifier for power, a man with enough proximity to lend a story a veneer of credibility. CNN is also part of the machinery here, but platforming Jennings as an apparently useful health explainer never turns a Republican insider into an unofficial validator. That is how institutional opacity gets laundered into news. The real decision was secrecy. The decision that matters is not whether Jennings exaggerated a phone call. It is the choice to keep McConnell's condition wrapped in ambiguity while internet rumors fill the vacuum. The source says Jennings himself complained that McConnell's team should be more transparent with candidacy. He is right about the demand, even if his own performance may be suspect. If McConnell was speaking on the phone, that still does not answer why it took video evidence of an ambulance loading him to sharpen the public picture nearly a month after hospitalization. The public was not given facts early because facts were not the priority. The pundit has shield. Jennings' role is familiar, absorb uncertainties, speak with confidence, and convert proximity into reassurance. He says McConnell sounded strong that they discussed Iran, that the senator was keeping up with events. Maybe so, maybe not. The latter point is that this kind of testimony is designed to substitute for accountability. The article frames the issue as whether Jennings lied. That is a narrow, almost decorative question. The deeper problem is that a political media ecosystem built around party access treats unverifiable reassurance as a substitute for disclosure. That is not journalism. It is reputation maintenance. CNN's weak framing. The weakest part of the coverage is the implied focus on Jennings' honesty as a central drama. That reduces a power story to a credibility squabble between a pundit and a former operative. The rebel scandal is a structure that makes this sort of arrangement normal, a major news network giving a Republican operative space to translate a senator's private condition into public certainty. This is how elite institutions protect themselves. They do not lie in one clean sentence. They diffuse responsibility across spokespeople, cable panels, and insinuations of good faith until no one has to answer directly for the original secrecy. The pattern. This is a small story with a large shape. Political institutions withhold media personalities' narrate, and the public is told to treat the resulting confusion as a solvable misunderstanding. It is the same playbook every time. Concentrate power, obscure consequences, then ask everyone to argue about tone instead of disclosure. McConnell's health may be a private matter. The public story around it is not. When the political machine uses silence, surrogate testimony, and selective visibility to control what people think they know, that is not confusion. It is governance by concealment. You've been listening to Systemic Error. Thanks to Raw Story for today's article with the automated voice of Diana. Thanks for listening.